Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to see about the correlation which was left in the previous video, right? Previous video we have discussed only about the covariance. Now we'll be discussing about the correlation today. Okay, so then now just let me quickly give you an overview that what we have discussed in the previous video. So in the previous video we have seen that what is covariance. So we have seen the definition that it is a measure of the relationship between two random variables, right? Then we have imported the libraries that was numpy and the second one was the pandas, right? Then we had taken the variables, first variable was a1, second was a2. And then we had basically used a random module for taking some random values and finding the covariance between these two variables. So this was somewhat covariance which we have found out, right? And next we have seen one more example in which we have taken another variable, and in that basically what I have done, I have taken b is equal to pd dot data frame, okay, and np dot random, and even here we have just specified some columns also. So according to that basically we were just getting the values here, okay. Now today we'll be discussing about the correlation. So for that I would just take a text here, I would make it to bold, and here I would just put one hash sign, and here I would just write the heading, and I would just let you know firstly that basically what does correlation means, and then we'll proceed on with the programming in the pandas one. Okay, so okay, it is not correction, just correlation. Okay, correlation, fine. Now basically what does this correlation means? This shows the linear this shows the linear relationship between it shows the linear relationship between two array of values. Now, what does correlation actually means? This shows the relationship between two array of values. Okay, this is what this correlation actually means, right? So this is the definition for the this is a definition for the correlation which we have just seen right now. Okay, what was the for the covariance? Covariance was it is a measure of the relationship between two random variables, and correlation shows the relationship between two array of values. Right, now just let's write the further code. So whenever we just deal with any kind of library, so what's the first step? First step is to import the libraries whichever we'll be using, right? So in my case, firstly I would be importing my pandas library. Import pandas as pd. Okay. So in that case, basically, what I have done, I have taken my pandas library. I have imported my pandas library and even given a short form to that pandas library, and that short form is pd. Right. Next, I would be writing about the numpy. So import numpy as np. So numpy is the second library which I have imported here, and even I have just given it the short form as np. Right, so these are the two libraries which I would be needing for the correlation, for finding the correlation between two array of values, right? Now what's the next step which we will need to follow here? So next step which we'll be following is that firstly I would be taking a variable. Okay, let's say in that case I just took my variable as a. Here I would be writing that pd, so pd means my pandas library, and then I would be writing it as data frame. So A is equal to pd dot data frame. I would put the bracket, and for the bracket I would just write to np dot random dot rand n. Okay, because random is one of my modules, and from that module I have used my one of the function, and that is rand n. Okay, so for now I have just used I'm just gonna make the data frame on my own. I'm just not taking any data set for right now. So for that I have just used my pandas library pd.dataframe. Okay, and in the bracket I have written np.random.rand n. And now here let's say I just gave some rows and columns. Okay, so for the rows I have 10 and for the columns I have 5, right? So if I have just given the number of rows and the columns, so in that case I need to give the column names also, right? So here I would be just writing co columns. Okay, so columns is equal to, I would make a list here, and inside that list I would write the name of the columns, a, then c, and then b, and at last I would be taking here as e. So these are the 5 column names which I have taken. So the first one is A, second one is B, third C, followed by D and E, right? So this is done. Now what is left here with me? So here I would be writing print. Okay, now inside the print I would be taking the variable in which I have just made my data and stored my data. So in that case, so print and then A. I would put the brackets. And now here I would be writing the name of my first column, for which I just need to find the correlation from the second one. Okay, in that case the name of my column is A. Now I want to find the correlation, so here I would just write CORR. Now this CORR actually means that I need to find out the correlation between two numbers. Okay, between two given columns, I need to find out that what is the correlation. So whenever this CORR is used, so that means you are going to find out the correlation between the two numbers. Sorry, between the two columns, two given columns, right? So here print A and then dot CORR, and here I would put the bracket, and here even for again I would just use the name of my variable, that is A, and inside the bracket I would use the name of the column. So let's say in that case it is B. Okay, and here I would just write print A dot CORR, and then the bracket is closed, right? And now I would just run this program for a while. So now here just have a proper look that here what I got the columns and the values, right? Here what I just got, I just firstly got A, B, C, D and E, 5 columns which we have written here in the program, in this one. Okay, and now what else I got the correlation between all of it, between this and this, right? So this is basically how you just find the correlation between the two given columns. Let's say I just changed this value from A and B, I just make it to C and then D. I just do these things. Now I would just run. Now you can just see that my final correlation has also changed, and even the values here which were here, that are also being changed. Okay, so this basically depends on the column which you are giving. Okay, so I hope you just got the idea that how to find the correlation. Let's take one more example here right now. Okay, so what I would be just doing, I would take another variable. Let's say that is B. Okay, so for that I would again be writing the data frame. So pd dot data frame. Okay, into bracket I would be taking np dot random dot rand n, and here I'll be giving 8 comma 4. So 8 comma 4, right? Now here after that I'll be giving the name for the columns. So columns is equal to, I'll just come upside, just 1 second, right? So now here columns is equal to, I would make the list, and inside this I would declare the name for the columns. Let's say first one is A1, then second one is A2. Here I need to declare 4 because I have taken 8 comma 4. Okay, A1 then A2, and okay, I'll just put a comma, and then it is basically A3 and one more comma, and that is basically A4, right? So here I have taken these 4 columns, A1, A2, A3 and A4. Now what I would be doing, I would be writing the print statement, and inside the print statement I would be writing firstly the name of the variable which we have taken. Okay, so in that case basically the name of my variable is B. Okay, I would just be putting the large brackets and writing the name of my variable for which the name of my first variable for which I want to find the correlation with the second one. Okay, so sorry, column. So the column name here is A1. I would put a dot here, and see I would just write CORR. So that means here I'm going to find my correlation between the two given columns, whichever I'm going to take here, right? So dot CORR, and now I would just again put the brackets, and inside that brackets I would again write firstly the name for the variable which is here, and that one is the B in our case, right? And here I would just write the name for the second column, and that one is A2. Fine, and here I would just print the correlation. So print, and then here I would just write that B dot CORR, and then I would just close the bracket, and now I would just run this program for a while. Just 1 second. Yeah, A dot correlation. So, fine. So now just have a look that here I just got some other values, and even my correlation is also being changed here. So let's say here I'm just noting that is 0.64. Now if I just changed my columns, okay, in that case here I would just write the A3, and for the second one here I would just write as A4, and my correlation 0.64. Now I would just run this once more. Just have a look that here my correlation changed. I got some negative value minus 0.25, right? So this is basically how you can just find the correlation for your data whichever you are having. Now just this thing is there that it basically only works on the numerical data set. That thing you all be knowing. Okay, so I would just like to just write here one comment. So I would just put the hash sign and here I would just write if any non-numeric column if any non-numeric column is present in data frame if a non-numeric column is present in data frame, it is excluded, and again a hash, and it is excluded automatically. So this means that if there is any non-numeric column which is present in your data frame, so basically that non-numeric column is excluded automatically from this from this data, from the final output which you are getting right here. Okay, so that is automatically been excluded. You need not to just exclude that on your own, right? So this is basically how you can just find the correlation for the for some numerical columns which you are having in your data set. And I hope for the covariance also it was very clear to you that how to find the covariance. So these were some statistical functions which we have tried tried doing this using the pandas library, right? So I hope I just made this thing very clear to you. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.